When I say Captain America, many people, including myself now, will just picture Chris Evans. He's come to define this character. But as it turns out, Marvel Studios did not want him initially. That's why the role was offered to other actors. But ultimately, they decided to go with him, and here's why. So a lot of you will remember, of course, Chris Evans' first Marvel role was not Captain America. He was, of course, Johnny Storm of the Fantastic Four over at Fox. Once the second movie underperformed and they weren't moving with a third one, he was kind of free to go look for other roles. And that's exactly what he did. At the time, Captain America was in development, and the guy who ended up playing the main character in Tron Legacy, I can't remember his name right now, was actually the front runner, but he didn't want to do a couple things Disney wanted, so they had to go look at alternative choices. Chris Evans was one of these because they liked his audition, but Kevin Feige took a seat back and said, we can't have him, he's Johnny Storm. That doesn't work. And ultimately, they ended up passing on him the first time around because of this. Then they kept looking and looking and thinking about it, and ultimately Kevin Feige decided it's gonna be Chris Evans. He had the best portrayal, he had everything we wanted, but is this gonna cause concern? And when he brought this up to everybody, when he pitched it, what he said was, look, Professor Xavier, Jean-Luc Picard, two of the most iconic characters out there. Both Patrick Stewart. Does it really matter? Is anybody going to complain about this or care about this? Nobody. So then they went back to Chris. He did his thing. He wanted the role. He ultimately got it. And things are kind of history now. And honestly, this is one of those things where you really just have to think of it that way, right? You have to think of how crazy that is. Because that was kind of a thing back then. You were associated with one role. You were associated with one role and you could never escape it. Hell, I was the ultimate no Chris Evans as Captain America because he's Johnny Storm. And then look at what he's done. Truly left behind a legacy as Cap, and that's pretty awesome.